put the code on, and if you get it, sparks fly.
Sparkles. I lost my mind here. I'm not kidding you. I've never been more frustrated.
You had me dying the whole episode with this.
2 seasons ago, 3 seasons. Yeah, it was 2 seasons. Like COVID. Like they blew up small islands. Like they would make jokes about it.
Overkill.
Yeah, they would be like
so many
where's all this pyrotechnics come from, or whatever else is all built up. Like they would blow up everything. These do it, and all of a sudden it's like sparkles. Like we got it. Like was it fast enough? I don't know. We didn't. Our sparkles weren't as high as their sparkles. Like we don't know if we won. You see how high their sparkles went? Like what is going on? They blew up things. Legitimately.
It is like
they gave them like live grenades at one point. They're like just maybe throw it, and if it blows something your hand up or something else, and now it's like, oh, look at this. It's a morning glory. It was terrible. They just went. You just said they went through 22 steps, and the best they got was sparklers.
Okay, so that's sparkle in sign language. I took a sign language
really?
class in college, so it's like sparkle. Yeah. So there you go.
This is a grenade. In sign language, like we're throwing that sucker. Anyway.
That should be the episode title. Sparkles.
Kind of like, what is going on? Like, seriously, folks, if you didn't watch like 2 seasons ago, go watch it. They blew up everything, every episode, to the point where I don't think people walked away with eyebrows at the end of the season.
What up, Challenge fans? We are Final Alliance Podcast. We just finished watching episode 6 of the Challenge USA titled Civil War.
Yeah, this one's interesting because I think right away they're going to throw at us the perfect algorithm and it makes us laugh. But there's a lot of things in this that it's a decent enough episode that you're starting to see where alliances aren't, whatever. But
I wanted a little more with this, with the title of a civil war, and then where we left off with Sarah and Tyson and how it kind of started, and then it sort of fizzled through the episode. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I will say outside of, not saying it's not entertaining, like that we can't wait to the next scene, but this is one of the first episodes, this is the most episode we rewound the most. Like, what are we missing here? What did we miss? Instead of like, it's so entertaining we can't wait to see the next scene. So, and I think that's what we'll get to, but yeah, Civil War. Yeah. All right. Okay. I mean, that's their theme that they want to go with every time.
Right.
We'll rename it at the end of the episode. We always do, but that's.
I have an idea.
Okay, good. I can't wait. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we have our new teams. That perfect algorithm.
The perfect algorithm.
Justine and Enzo. Well, first of all, we thought for sure that was gonna put Tyson and Sarah together. That's what I was thinking going into this episode.
But yes, going into it, but then Tyson comes up first, right? And that's the thing. He gets Kira.
Yeah, Tyson and Kira.
And then the next name that comes up is Sarah.
I don't know, because just like last week, I got most of these team names from Instagram before.
Either way, if it's Sarah, Ben, or if it goes Sarah first or Ben first, we both at the same time said their partner.
Yeah.
And I think this is it. I think I mentioned this last week. I don't know if I mentioned it, but a friend who watches the show texted. He's like, "What's with the perfect algorithm?" And I got to talk to him. I was like, "It's tongue in cheek." And like, what do you mean? I'm like, he's been saying it now for 3 or 4 weeks. Like, what's that? I'm like, it's not of the producers. Like, this is not the perfect algorithm. Right. They know what they're doing.
Yes.
And Angela will say like, "What's going on here?"
Right. So Justine and Enzo, Shannon and Derek, Kira and Tyson, Sarah and Ben. Whoa! Yeah. What a surprise!
Knew that was coming. Yeah.
Cache and Kyland, Desi and David, Kayla and Leo, which I instantly was like, that's not going to be good for them. Alyssa and Danny, and Angela and Dominic. Angela, her face is just blank, not happy. And I'm like, oh. And then she's like, TJ, I've already had Dominic as a partner. And he says, remember...
Until mathematically you've
gone through everyone, there's no other option or something, which I I don't understand that completely. Maybe somebody can explain that to us.
Well, keep in mind, we just watched the episode. We're not going to waste 90 minutes of going back to every episode and doing the
or just going through my notebook.
Yeah, no. What it's more importantly, it's not going through your notebook. What I said was like that would be like us, like Charlie, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like with the red yarn, cigarettes hanging out, and be like, in episode 1, it all comes back to this. Like we could do it, right? And be like, no, this is ridiculous. But I don't think they're ready for the super fans yet to do that. And somebody will. Someone's like, no. They could have easily done it this way. But he's saying
there are people left that she hasn't been partnered with yet, though.
I know, but that doesn't mean
that's
that
where it gets complicated
to
me.
It's a perfect. I don't know why you're arguing with the perfect algorithm.
It's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, but if that's what you're claiming to be better than perfect, then okay.
Oh, look at you, twisty twisters. I'm just saying. I thought it was interesting.
She's right.
Of all people, for it to be her,
it doesn't
likely the most strong female in the house.
It was the worst argument.
Very close with Tyson, who was kind of on the outs with people. It's a little sus.
Listen,
just a little.
TJ's our
and
man.
Nothing against Dom. Dom performed pretty darn well this
TJ's
episode.
our man. But that's not the way you answer something. If you remember, I told you until mathematically, and then I'm like, huh? No, I don't know. I don't think this works mathematically. Like, just trust me on this perfect algorithm. Like, I don't like.
And there's 9
this
teams, so I don't know if maybe because it's like an odd number. I don't even know. I don't know.
Yeah,
but yeah, we're not gonna. We're not gonna sit like Charlie on Always Sunny.
Yeah,
at least not today.
Yeah.
Then we get back into the house. We got all the strategizing going on because apparently we don't believe in having fun nights anymore on the challenge.
Yeah.
So it's all just strategy.
Well, I mean, you gotta win this one, right? And so you gotta be focused because eventually if you win this, after you run as final and win it, then you go on to the Challenge World Championships on exclusively on Paramount Plus. Which, by the way, on a side note about these World Championships, these other places, are these going to be streamed on Paramount Plus? And are these people all going to be hold on. Are all these people going to be forced to speak English?
That's a really good point.
How do you do these things in like politic if you don't know their language? Like,
right.
So is it really like the World Championship just because you force these people like you have to know English or they're going to have translators? Like
That's a really, really good point. Because we saw that with like last season on the flagship, people like Emmy, Emmanuel, Logan, they're getting directions, reading directions in not their first language. Sometimes things do get a little bit lost in translation, and that kind of sucks for them. You know what I mean? Like that's not fair. But then for a viewer, I mean,
realistically,
it's confusing.
It's going to be Challenge Canada. English speaking.
I heard that they did like maybe Australia.
There you go.
Although they might see, or what does Banana say? They use language there. Dutch.
I think he said Australia.
Yeah, he says they speak Dutch.
Dutch.
In Australia.
So
maybe New Zealand.
Name all the different sites that they're gonna have these like Canada, England, Scotland. Every single one of them. I'm not watching. No, not at all. I'm not going to. And there's no way TJ's island hopping or country hopping around to do this or whatever else. He can't even carry this. Maybe if Bananas was the host, maybe I might flirt with one episode, but I'm not doing this. Now, I don't even know
if... That is true, because, I mean, how many are happening? Are there multiple happening at the same time in the same city? Yeah. So TJ's, just running back and forth?
No.
Yeah.
And the World Championship exclusively on Paramount Plus, I don't even know if I'll watch that either. But it's kind of this whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shooting your load right away to be like, we're doing a World Championship. Like, just start with one season. If it goes over that well, then you can, and let's see if it grows.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for my side portion of it, but you know.
I mean, that is an interesting point. I think I'm just wondering if they're trying to, because of Paramount Plus, just widen the reach of the show. I don't know.
I guess I don't watch Big Brother Canada, so
no, people like it. I've seen some tweets about it.
Yeah, not me. No. Anyway, sorry.
Sarah's frustrated.
She's,
about
Sarah always
about
frustrated?
Tyson. It seems that way.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Ben is pacing. David actually is like, hey, you want to go outside and talk with me for a second? I thought that was nice. He's like, no, I'm good. He's like, to which if I were David, I'd be like, clearly you're not, though.
Yeah. You don't look good. Yeah. Like, is this good for you? Because I'd hate to see what bad is. Yeah. How's that ulcer going for you? Yeah. That you're manifesting right now. Yeah.
It's like you've worn like the floors down in this spot because you just keep pacing. Tyson, kind of puffs out his chest. He's like, look, I'm not saying put me in, but if you feel like it's a good move at some point, do it. I'll shake your hand. If you're going to get mad at it, if you're going to take it personal, maybe you should avoid all games.
I did like that,
That
though.
was a
Like,
good
yeah, because it is, in the end, it is a game. I did like that line. Yeah, if that's going to be it, then just avoid all games in general.
But he kind of contradicts himself. I just thought of this later when he says, if I do get voted in, I have no problem like throwing the rest of the game, not winning, and my number one reason in the game is skip these people out.
You did,
so it's like
you did catch him there. Yep, you did say that.
So it's when things are working out in his favor.
Sure,
that's how he feels.
There are people like that. Yeah,
there's. I mean, that's probably everybody.
I didn't really have a lot of stock in Tyson, so you're not going to drop the stock very much where it was at. So yeah, it makes sense.
I kind of like him, but I did kind of. When I just thought about that, I was like, yeah, he's like, avoid all games if you're going to take it personal. And then he's like, clearly was just at the idea of himself being thrown in. Yeah. He wasn't even thrown in, but the idea of it got him fired up. Enzo and David have a conversation. These two people we have not really seen much of anything from.
No.
So I was like, whoa. I'm like, this might be the most we've seen these two talk on screen. Talk, period. On screen, period. And then they're together.
This is such,
to the point where I was like, I looked at you and I'm like, Enzo's got an accent.
Yeah.
Like I don't know
that's where he's from.
I'm like, is that like a Staten Island?
I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's New Jersey. Listen, this is classic Enzo saying what he's going to do, how he's going to do so well. He got carried to the finals of the season he was in, or the final three of Big Brother, and like All Stars. He's got a great social game, but it's just kind of like a goofy social game.
Yeah.
But he's always saying what he's going to do. Like, I'm going to win this next challenge. I'm going to do this and that. And it never comes to fruition. It's yeah.
I think he seems like later when he's playing, like when he says something about he removed the rope swing. TJ says that. Yeah. He's like fist pumps. Like, it seems like he has kind of a fun personality.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, that hat he wears in his interviews, I am not a fan.
No.
Was that like, what would you call that? Like a news hat? Like a paperboy hat? Like a.
Well, because, yeah, I don't know how to do it. Like
golf hat?
Not, I mean, if it was backward, it'd be like a Kangol hat, but he does it for, I guess the golf hat or whatever else.
Right. I'm not into those.
No. He just looked goofy. He wouldn't be my guy in real life. He seems nice, but just not if he talks in real life the way he talks in this game, I just be like, you're just blowing too much hot air for no reason. It's not worth it.
So David again is like, I'm just gonna be everyone's friend. I'm being super nice to everyone. He says to Enzo, stay loyal, and win some S.
Yeah. And he's like, for sure. Yeah. Yo. I'm gonna win this, yo. Dude pies. Yeah.
All right, so we got challenge day. It is called containment. This had quite a few steps. So,
what's a few to you?
There are 9 steps.
Okay, that's more than a few. Like, couple, I'm like, that's 2. I know a couple's 2. Few, I'm like, 3 or more. 9 is like confusing.
Yes. And this is one of those where I had to pause. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
4 containers are 25 feet above the air.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to run and jump into the water.
Mm-hmm.
You swim one way to one container that has a ladder. Your partner swims to the other side. You both climb the ladder. Then there are 4 different symbols. You got to count them on top of the container and then inside the container.
Mm-hmm.
Then you rope swing to a platform to get a key that has your team color.
Everybody follow along at home?
You jump in. Swim back. You plug in your key.
Sounds like more than 9 steps. I'm just listening right now. That's all.
Then it gives the values of what all the symbols are. You multiply those by how many ever there were.
Or
add that number together.
Yep.
Put the code on. Yep. And if you get it, sparks fly.
Sparkles. I lost my mind here. I'm not kidding you. I've never been more frustrated.
You had me dying the whole episode with this.
2 seasons ago, 3 seasons. Yeah, it was 2 seasons. Like COVID. Like they blew up small islands. Like they would make jokes about it.
Overkill.
Yeah, they would be like
so many
where's all this pyrotechnics come from, or whatever else is all built up. Like they would blow up everything. These do it, and all of a sudden it's like sparkles. Like we got it. Like was it fast enough? I don't know. We didn't. Our sparkles weren't as high as their sparkles. Like we don't know if we won. You see how high the sparkles went? Like what is going on? They blew up things. Legitimately.
It is like
they gave them like live grenades at one point. They're like, just maybe throw it, and if it blows something, your hand up or something else, and now it's like, oh, look at this. It's a morning glory. It was terrible. They just went. You just said they went through 22 steps, and the best they got was sparklers.
Okay, so that's sparkle in sign language. I took a sign language
really?
class in college, so it's like sparkle.
Yeah.
So there you go.
This is a grenade. In sign language, like we're throwing that sucker. Anyway,
that should be the episode title. Sparkles.
Kind of like, what is going on? Like seriously, folks, if you didn't watch like 2 seasons ago, go watch it. They blew up everything, every episode, to the point where I don't think people walked away with eyebrows at the end of the season. And this, all right,
it's like
anyway. Exactly. And on top, we've all done it. Like you've lit in a bottle rocket, and you're like, I'm not gonna check it. You check it. That thing's gonna go off, and that's exactly what. Okay. Jeez.
Oh heavens.
Yeah.
So yeah, the sparkles were a little underwhelming after 20,000 steps.
Yeah. God.
Is this a challenge you would like to do? Take the sparkles out of it.
All right. I can't answer that because I still don't understand what they were supposed to do. To be honest with you,
okay, let's see if I can put it in layman's terms. Like try to condense it as
you
like
jump.
short.
No, how about you? You tell me where I'm wrong. You jump off a ledge.
Yes.
You swim to a ladder. You climb up it.
Mm-hmm.
You either go in a container or on top of a container. There were different symbols, right?
Yes.
And you had to memorize them. At that point, when you jump on the platform, the thing that you could, I don't understand where the different symbols meant.
So you had to count them. So there was a black skull, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
You had to count how many of the black skulls there were, because later you would multiply whatever the value was by how many ever there were.
But what was pulling out the things, the 8 in the middle to get your key in there? Because what if you pulled the wrong key?
Yeah, there was no purpose for the key to my knowledge.
Okay.
It was just, you just had to have it.
Okay. All right. I got you there. Now I understand.
Oh, that was the key was their purpose for rope swinging to that platform.
Okay. Just to get one?
To get them to rope swing to that platform, to add another challenge, physical challenge point.
Okay. Now I'm with you, because I remember him saying that, and they had the dry erase, and I about lost it when TJ was like, then you have to take the sum of the values. I'm like, stop it, TJ. Just stop it. Just add the sum of the numbers of values, and this, stop. You're not teaching like a...
Well, he said multiply, and if it's multiplication, it is value.
Yeah, it just get the
or it'd be a product.
Just get the answer. Product. Don't Common Core me right now. Just get the number. Just get the answer, and we're good to go. Anyway, no, I don't. I mean, it's fine if I would have understood it. I mean, I probably would have been there. I would have been the one that everyone's like, "We got it," and I would have been like, "One more question." I don't understand it again. So, and I'm not
Tom
dumb.
Hanks and Big. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not dumb, but I still don't understand. I was like, TJ, I'm too busy looking at your red jacket. So,
dude, that red jacket, it was good. I liked the red jacket. We don't see him in red very often.
No. Would you have liked to have done this?
I think this is one that would challenge me because I don't love water, but the water was like not really that scary. Yeah. So I just thought it was interesting. I think obviously the thing that would have scared me the most would have been, not necessarily scared me, but I'd be like, don't freaking biff it on this rope swing. Just, like, please don't embarrass yourself. Don't embarrass yourself. Hold the rope at the right spot. Let go at the right time. Because that is always the worst, is like when you have the bad fall.
Yeah. But speaking of falls, there were at least 3 times they fell into that net that I was like, that's going to hurt an ankle.
Yeah.
And so that leads to Shannon saying, like, her hamstring.
Pulled a hammy.
No, you didn't. You're not in top physical shape to pull a hamstring.
You don't know her life. So if you can only pull muscles if you're in top physical shape.
I would have. Yeah.
I feel like, when I've been in really bad shape, I've pulled a muscle taking out the trash.
But the hamstring.
That was a calf muscle.
Okay, a hamstring. I'm saying, like,
I pulled hamstrings.
She might have strained
softball.
it or whatever else. Yeah, Kaylee was right, although she's not a veteran to say it. She's like, you don't announce an injury like that.
Right.
Like, she's like 101. She's like, challenge 101. Like, you don't have the right to say that, but you're kind of right. But don't do that again. Anyway.
I will say I was incredibly impressed by the majority of these people. I did think that more were not going to do very well. Just because it did seem like a little more challenging than what we've seen.
Yeah, we just went through it.
Angela and Dom nailed it to start. Ben and Sarah, they did okay. They missed it first. And then Sarah's like, because I missed one of the, and I appreciated that she acknowledged that she messed it up, because sometimes she seems like the type of person that would not acknowledge her wrong. So I liked that she at least did that. And then they were able to complete it. Cache and Kylan, they're like, are we gonna say spring break? I didn't understand what that was about.
Yeah, before that, she's like, don't touch me. I don't know.
She's like, don't touch me.
She jumps her, all wraps her legs around.
Danny and Alyssa.
Here we go.
Danny mentions his wife Kiki.
And their trip to Jamaica.
They had to have jumped at Rick's Cafe, right?
Absolutely,
that's which we've gone. I am a weenie, so I did not jump, but my husband jumped many times.
So I had to. So thank you, Kiki, for making me jump off the cliff. So there you go.
Way to go, Kiki.
There's
and also,
there's on your bingo square.
And also, as per what you said last week, this is where we say hi, Sue. Hi, Sue.
Yeah, that's right.
Kiki, my wife, is also hi, Sue.
That's right.
For Final Alliance. Let's see who else. Tyson and Kira. Before the challenge, Kira had said, look, I've been throwing up. I feel awful. I'm trying to hold it together, but I just don't feel good.
Sounds like COVID.
And they had to have tested them.
I'm sure they tested, yes.
And when you're sick like that. Oh Jesus. When you're sick like that, you do feel weak. Baby. Oh, stop it. No.
Here's some tea.
Sparkle.
Here's some tea. All right, sorry.
None of that is true. But when you're sick like that, you are weak and you get winded doing nothing. So to have to do this while you're that sick, that really sucks. And I felt for her. She did try. I appreciated that. She had a terrible fall. Terrible fall on the rope swing. And she just got to the point where she's like, I don't think I have it in me to be able to climb back up again.
Like, climb back up? And he's like, can you do it? She's like, I don't have it in me.
And I thought Tyson was pretty chill about that. Pretty understanding.
Yeah.
Of course, Sarah's like, it's karma. It's karma.
That's right. I'm not bitter at all.
Kira's health is Tyson's karma. That's okay.
Yep. That's right. That's what you get.
Poor
you
Kira.
get a partner.
And Justine and Enzo, they were talking in their interview beforehand. She's talking about how she's like, we're going to do this. And he says something about duty pies. Apparently that was something he talked about.
Yeah, I think he said it before, and it's on the bingo card if you're on social media or whatever else. But he said it a couple times. I don't know. Like, give everyone duty pie, but that whole thing was embarrassing for Enzo. like beyond like.
Justine tries to jump on and she just kind of misses it. She's able to get back to where she started. And then Enzo he can't find it in himself to jump.
No. It's just
so because he doesn't, then at that point, because Tyson had made it to the platform, so at least one person from his team had made it to the platform, they're no longer in the bottom. David and Desi nail it.
Mm-hmm.
Desi, I was happy that we got to see a little bit more of her athleticism today. Yeah. She's one of those people who just seems like an athlete. I mean, she's like definition in her arms and stuff. Like, yeah. And she's really did awesome today. And she's a very like poised. Yeah. I really like that about her. Almost like regal.
Yeah. I also really like that she was happy to be a partner with David because David seems really, really happy to be my partner. So I was like, all right, I like that. And she's like, but he just really wants to be my partner. So I guess I'm going to be happy to be his partner. So,
right. That was sweet.
Worked out.
Yeah. Leo and Kayla. Then Leo apparently had a situation when he was a child where he was thrown off a boat and he almost drowned. So he has a fear of water, which we didn't know that up until now.
Okay. Grow up.
Traumatic childhood
they didn't
trauma.
They got it. They came back and got him.
I feel for him. He went ahead and did it.
He watched Titanic and now he somehow thinks he's like Jack Dawson or whatever.
I'm not going to talk smack on people's trauma. Come on, we're better than that, Mr. Foster.
You are.
You are.
He used the wrong pronoun anyway. Yeah.
He goes through it. Everyone's cheering for him, which is wonderful. And he gets to the platform and he's like, yay. And even TJ is laughing and smiling and clapping for him, which was really sweet. So I was happy that he was able to quote unquote conquer that fear.
Keep in mind in this, Tyson was cheering during that too. So even the guy that he's mad at for putting him in there, Tyson was cheering him on too. So good for Tyson there and good for everybody. Peer pressure, that cheer him on. I like that you just said cats don't swim well. Last episode,
he loves cats. It was National Cat Day earlier in the week, and I legit was thinking about
Cat Day or Pet Day or every other.
I thought about Leo immediately. I think it was Monday. It was National Cat Day because one of my friends posted a bunch of pictures of her cats, and
that's the first thing you think of.
I thought of Leo. I was like, "Oh, it's Leo's day." I hope you celebrate it. I really do. And but I did make the joke. I was like, well, cats don't like water. Yeah, and then of course I heard about the trauma and I was like, I feel bad. So thanks for bringing that up here.
Yeah, you heard about it. That's
anyway. Desi and David won. Mm-hmm. Wonderful news. That is an interesting dynamic because she is Survivor. She's been kind of playing low-key game. He is Big Brother, but he's not really in the Big Brother alliance. No. So it's one of those. Is he going to make a big move or is he going to make a safe move? Ben says he feels good and doesn't think a blindside is coming. I immediately at that point was like, oh, blindside's coming. So
absolutely. I was like, oh, I don't think a blind's coming.
So they tricked me on that one.
Yep. Good job. Yep, they're paying attention.
The deliberation really equates to about nothing. Justine's like, I'm keeping my mouth shut. I'm not going to say anybody.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys want. Which I feel like that's the smart way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not close to them, you don't want to be saying anybody's name. So they're talking about, there's several different options. There's Kyland and Cache, Tyson and Kira, and then Shannon and Derek or is it David?
Derek.
Okay. And Shannon and Derek are the three names that we hear kind of swirling around.
Yeah.
Did you think David was going to make a big move, or did you think he was going to play it safe?
I didn't think it was going to go Derek and Shannon. Give me the other two again.
Or I guess Leo and Kayla were also an option. But it was Kyland and Cache, Tyson, and Kira.
I thought it was Tyson and Kira.
You thought that he was going to do that?
Let's take out the main guy and get the person who's sick. We still haven't. Did we touched upon the bunk bed Kira in the water and how you get over being sick like that?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So she says that she's been nauseated. She's been throwing up.
Throwing up nonstop all night long. Hasn't told anyone because she doesn't want anyone to know it. But she's been sick.
Got water bottle about this size,
Sure.
whatever the water bottles that they have. And who is she talking to? Who's talking to?
I don't know.
But they say, okay, drink at least 2 of these really quick, so that you can throw everything up.
Yep.
I have never heard that strategy for someone who's been throwing up to be like, throw up more.
Never.
Well, because you're fighting dehydration. It's it's do the little sips.
Yeah.
See if you can keep down some crackers. Very light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not. Let's just dump a whole bunch of fluids into my
So it just
stomach
all comes up violently.
Just with the purpose of throwing up more.
Because that'll be good for your stomach.
Right. Then you're going to be more dehydrated.
Yeah.
And then you potentially have to exercise.
Yeah. Pop a blood vessel in your eye. From
oh, God, right?
Whatever else. So, yeah, let's do that for a little bit.
So, if you guys know about this flu strategy, please let me know.
Yeah, if that's the way you get over it. Just like, you know what? We're just going to get it all out. We're going to just put it down there and just see what happens. That was a strange thing to do. But I really thought it was going to be Tyson Kira. I do. And I actually think that would have been the better move. But
yeah. I didn't think that he was going to make a big move. I wanted him to make a big move, but I just didn't think that was what he was going to do.
And Desi goes on to say it. She's like, it's just not
smart.
It's not our time to do it. It's not our time to do that thing like right now.
Let someone else make the big hit.
If they come back in, we'll take a big person and they come back in and put the target on our back. So I was fine with that, I guess. Dom, they do their big announcement or what else. Do you want to talk about what the thing is? The Dom thing was kind of weird. The announcement when he's sitting there with his partner, he's like, I'm going to go back in and win. I'm going to do this and that, and I'm going to go win the money. And then he was like, oh yeah, and she's gonna win too. I was like, what? Why did he just go through that whole thing and be like, I'm gonna go in and win. I'm gonna come back and show all these people I deserve to be here. I don't go home. I'm.
Or you mean Enzo?
Enzo, sorry.
Okay, I was like, when did Dom say that?
Listen, it's about the same. Anyway, it was
Dom's growing on me.
Enzo went in there and he's like, I'm gonna go in and win. I'm going to go do this. I'm not used to going home early, and I'm going to get the money. And he's like, oh, yeah, and she's going to win, too. I was like, okay, good job, Enzo.
But that is a much more positive outlook than he had before the daily.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. True.
The elimination, they decide to vote in Justine and Enzo.
Yeah.
I had to go back, I think, we go back 2 or 3 times because I'm like, I missed.
Justine and Enzo are in. They vote in.
Oh, Derek and Shannon.
Yeah,
Derek and Shannon. Yeah. And I had to rewind this 2 or 3 times because I'm like, I must have missed the title of this. I missed what this is called. And I'm like, how did they just completely not do it? And then they decided not to dub it over. I'm like, what's happening?
Times. You got us.
And so what they had said was there's 120 tires, 60 per team. You've got to transform them to your platform one at a time. Mm-hmm. You got to stack them. It's a race, whoever does it first.
Sure.
Getting ready to go. Derek and Shannon are standing. TJ is about ready to do the horn. He acts like he's going to do the horn. Derek starts running.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, false start. And he's like, do you guys really think that I was just going to have you guys doing this? And I'm like, good, because that sounded kind of lame. Like I even said that to you. And then they added, so it's called spelling ebb.
Yeah.
B spelled backwards. Was it 2 rounds?
2 rounds.
2 rounds of you and your partner spelling words backwards. Mm-hmm. Whoever got the most correct, before it started.
Everyone you got 1 correct. They take out 5 of yours.
No. It was 5 total that got removed. So it was just whichever team. Mm-hmm.
How can it be? 1 got 2 right, 1 got 1 right.
Right. Yeah. So the team that got the most right, that removed 5 tires.
Why did I think they took out 5 for everyone that got right?
That would make more sense, but...
Thank you. I'm glad you said that. So anyway, okay, sorry to interrupt you. Yep.
So instead of 60 tires, Shannon and Derek only had 55, which is a pretty good advantage considering you can only go one at a time.
2 over 1. What were the words again? Dredge.
Goggles.
Dredge. Goggles. Cynical.
Cynical was wrong. She did really well, and then I think just panicked at the end and said an S instead of a C.
That's right.
I was panicked the whole time. That's probably why I didn't write it down, because I'm like, I cannot spell backwards. I don't know what my problem. Like, I just like I like completely like panicked, and I'm like, shovel.
I was doing it like Derek did. I was closing my eyes. When you watch him, he closes his eyes when he spells shovel backwards, I believe. Yeah. And I was like, I definitely
I'm pretty sure I got that one wrong, and then I was like, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out.
I closed my eyes too, but yeah. So,
and then they do the stacking of the tires, or it's basically the same thing. It's just that added a little bit of an advantage. Yeah. So Derek and Shannon again have 5 less than Justine and Enzo. It's pretty close, going back and forth. Enzo has the strategy of making low stacks, spacing them out and then having them all be kind of even along the way. Derek and Shannon are just kind of like get it done, stack, make a big stack, then move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Which that proved to be what lost it for them, because tires fell first, and then it was like no big deal. There were just 4 of them. They left them. Then there were 5, and then when it was like very, very close, like photo finish at the end, another stack fell.
Yeah.
So Enzo and Justine win. Horn.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at.
That's where we're at. It says, congratulations. You won a very hard challenge, which is where I'm about to spit out my water. I'm like, that was hard. Yeah. I get it. The smart thing about that for Enzo and them is to look at it, because the tires were up on, they had a pole down the middle. So they're showing that they're just not going to stack up that easy. There's a pole for a reason. And it's smart for them to recognize that. But yeah, Derek and Shannon just really didn't put a lot of thought into it. They just thought they had it. So, but I don't really, 30 times back and forth is not going to.
No, and it wasn't even far.
No, it's not going to, I'm not going to need like a masseuse the next day or whatever else. Be like, that's terrible. I can't believe you guys don't want to do that. You throw in someone like me and I come back from that, that means I'm right up there because I came back from that challenge. Like, no, you're not.
I do have to give it to Shannon. I have pulled my hamstring multiple times.
She didn't pull her hamstring.
Okay, well, I don't know.
She has a leg injury or whatever else. Yeah, she's not dying.
But running and then in the sand, running as fast as you can, carrying something with a pulled
holding
hamstring.
On one another's hand. Like, what's going on here?
I'm just saying, like that. That probably was uncomfortable.
I bet it was. I'm just saying, like, let's not just throw out there I have a pulled hamstring. I mean, it would be bruised up and all these other things. Like, it's tough. It's not.
No, because you didn't see a medic.
Yeah. It was a bad fall. I bet you it's not. I don't like it. Like I said earlier, I saw like 3 falls in that net, and I'm like, there's an ankle, there's a net.
Yeah.
I didn't see a hamstring. So I'm not saying she isn't banged up. It's just we're not going to throw out that she has a torn hamstring, a pulled hamstring. That's it. But I'm not saying she's not banged up. It had to be tough. But and they were there. There's just bad, philosophy of how they were going to do things, strategy.
Yeah, for real. And I mean, realistically, I like them both. They seem like nice people, but I did not think either of them was going to win.
No.
So they went out at probably the appropriate time.
Calm down, Alyssa. Calm down, Derek. Number 1. Oh, you're not going to win either, Alyssa.
Yeah, I don't think she is either.
There's no need for tears.
Oh yeah, everybody was like super sad. Shannon was sad. She was proud of herself that she faced some fears. Yeah, Alyssa and Derek were both crying because they're besties.
And they set out a plan and got out X. I mean, that's their thing. Oh, okay, Xavier.
Mm-hmm. Who won the episode?
Oh, great question. That is a great question. Who won the episode?
David. We saw him the most that we've seen him. He didn't make a big move, but he probably made a smarter move for where he's at. He did win the challenge. He was on our screens for more than just a second. So for him, that was like...
Yeah, I think I've been critical. I want to give it to Desi, but I think maybe I do have to agree with you on David. I just think Desi had a different type of narrative about her in this episode, which you're kind of like, you know what, she's there, she got it, but
she's a contender for sure.
But David was, I will agree with that. A lot of screen time, and rightfully so. And he even said, he's like, I was out week 1 or whatever else, and now I'm just trying to lay low and play cool and make some and build some relationships, and maybe he will get a better edit. He has not had a very good edit up on this one, so yeah, that's fine with that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Who do you think lost the episode?
Probably Sarah, but that's she goes out and she's nothing after the first.
Yeah, we don't really see a whole
15
lot of
minutes,
her.
right? I mean, there's no real drama in this episode outside of that. So, I don't know who loses the episode. I'm not going to say TJ for not being able to explain the perfect algorithm to Angela, but maybe the perfect algorithm. But in the end, isn't it Sarah though, for being like the edit that they gave her at the beginning, and then she doesn't really do anything in her challenge?
Yeah. I mean, okay. I could say Kira lost it because, I mean, it wasn't really her fault, but she had a hard hit.
Yeah.
She wasn't feeling well. The quote unquote, strongest guy in the house was her partner, and he couldn't win because of her lack of ability.
Legitimately, the week before, like he carried someone through water.
Right. So I mean, it's not like, I don't mean it in the way that we usually mean it, but she didn't perform like she normally does. For, understandable reasons.
Yeah.
There wasn't like a huge loser this episode. And I've just been noticing that with this series, we're just not getting big winners in the episode that are like hugely being heroed. We're not getting people that are like hugely making, like just stepping in it. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of, we hang out in the middle.
I just think it's Sarah. Honestly, she
rubs you the wrong way for sure.
Well, I mean, nothing wrong with it. It's just like the edit started with her, and they still keep showing that she's like, and whatever, and she's like, now she's got the partner that she wants, and she made the mistake. Yeah, she owned up to it, but we can't, just because she admitted her mistake doesn't mean that we have to like forget about it.
True.
She was out there, and she had the partner that she wanted. Like, that was it, and they couldn't do it. And so I'm sorry, it's Sarah for me,
Yeah. Cringe-worthy moments. Spring break.
Sparklers.
Oh, yeah, the sparklers.
Sparklers.
The sparklers were the cringe-worthy
it's beyond cringe-worthy. You're just like, what? Like, you do the cringe like you're looking at it, like, I see that, because like cringe is like, wait a minute, what did they just say? And this one was like, what? And then you're like, what is going on? I feel like
the sparklers are like if I were to create for my PE class, like a mini challenge.
Yeah.
Like outside on like our back 40. That would be like U1 would be like the little sparklers.
Yeah. Sparklers shout out. Like they're little morning glories. But then right away you would be like, oh, don't get too close, because you don't want to. And they'd be like, they're sparklers. Mrs. Klinger, everything's fine. I can be right here. What are you doing? Like, don't burn yourselves. Like, what do you mean? Like,
realistically, I would not be able to do that because,
yeah.
But
even if you did, you actually realistically you could, because in the end, just like, don't touch them, but like, don't stand too close. I'm like, they're sparklers. Like, God, yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Yes, that hands down cringe-worthy moment. That's also our MTV versus CBS. MTV, we get the explosions, we get the grenades. CBS.
Jeez.
It's like a light breeze.
Like a million viewers out there. CBS. Get after it.
I think averaging about 3 million a week.
3 million. My God.
Maybe they're saving all the real good stuff for the Tri-Wizard tournament.
Your lips to the producer's ears.
So that's the episode.
No, it's not.
No?
What would bananas do?
Oh, what would bananas do? What am I thinking?
It's an obvious one.
All right, what would you do?
Throw in Tyson and Kira.
I really think so.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's more of a like, what would Wes do?
Well, but Bananas, no. Bananas probably, I don't think, Bananas would not be in an alliance with Tyson. not someone who tells you about how great they are at swimming and everything things and feel like, and especially their egos would clash because Bananas would be like, this is my show, and Tyson feels like it's his show.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they were, no, Bananas would put Tyson in.
But Bananas appreciates people that do that. Hence, him and Wes being in.
He put in Wes in Heartbeat,
right? But you know how like they were an alliance then at the end. I feel like Tyson is similar to Wes,
but he's not Wes. That's the thing. Bananas isn't going to let another Wes into his world.
Yeah,
he would. He put in Tyson. He's like, look at all this money, and now we got someone who's drinking 2 gallons of water just so they can vomit. He's like, we're putting him in a heartbeat. He'd be like, everyone, this is dumb. But Bananas would tell the entire house what he's doing. He's like, what do you mean we're going to have empathy for this? Look at the money.
Yeah.
Look at his partner. Guys, be smart.
And there's 10 episodes. This is episode 6.
And he'd sit there and say, like, you can't fault me for this. I'm helping you guys out. And he'd even say, like, I'm helping out Enzo and what's her name? Sorry.
Justine?
He's like, I'm helping them out because they can take her money. It's not even about me. I'm helping them out. And everyone would have to be like, oh, yeah. That's what I would do. And that's what Bananas would do. Not to say like we're kindred spirits, but I feel like I know.
Kindred spirit.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there any who wore a best? What was best line? Best line is we went through it. What was it? It was earlier. It was Tyson's.
Oh yeah, don't
if
you're gonna take it personal, maybe you should avoid all games.
Yeah, avoid.
That was a good line.
That's
that was a good line.
Who wore best? Kara did not have the outfit on that she had 2 weeks ago, so I have no idea. I was looking for it.
Shannon's interview look was pretty. She had kind of like a beige gold number.
Shannon looked good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. TJ's red jacket.
TJ's red jacket was
honorable
great.
mention. Yeah. I don't know if there's any other categories. What would you name it though? You did say that. Yeah.
Sparkle.
Oh yes, it is. Oh my god. Now that's all I'm going to be doing is paying attention to pyrotechnics from here on out, so I can just lose my mind again.
I know, it's like last season on 37, we were like, enough already.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah.
And then
we so were.
And then we see this and we're like, what was that?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah. It's so true.
We have come
Like,
accustomed to a certain level of pyrotechnics, and that was
Stop.
not it.
Stop overshadowing the competitors with all your pyrotechnics, Mr. Pyrotechnic guy. We were so critical, and they were like, what did you just do? We so were.
Oh, heavens. Okay.
This show.
T. I've got some challenges.
All right.
Happy, sad. I got it all. First one. CT's movie, The Most Dangerous Game, came out
on Amazon.
It's in some theaters. It's also on streaming. You can get it
What
on
platform.
You can get it on Prime for $4.99 to rent it.
I was gonna say, I know what I'm doing. The rest of it, but
I know I'm renting it. I'm still gonna rent it. I'm still gonna rent it. I will.
Dangerous Game.
The Most Dangerous Game.
The Most Dangerous Game. Yeah.
It's also got Judd Nelson and what's the guy's name from
Bender?
Major League?
Tom Berenger.
Yes.
Jake Taylor.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
The score, the rating it has on IMDb right now is currently at 3.6 out of 10.
Oh, that's not very good. Yeah.
And the reviews are not great. But there are lots of movies I like that have crappy reviews.
Let me tell you a quick story.
Okay.
Real quick, it won't be long. Once upon a time.
Oh, I think I know where this is going. Okay.
Well, did you listen to the same podcast I listened to?
No, I just
Okay.
I kind of know your thing.
Roger Ebert gave a score of -0.5, which I've never heard of before, to a little movie called Can't Buy Me Love.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you?
Oh, it's so good. I've watched it
know.
probably 200
He
times.
gave a -0.5. So
yeah,
so the review is not all the time, whatever. Just want to throw that out there.
All right. Okay.
movie,
That
yeah.
gives me more faith.
It's probably gonna
And
be
I'm
not
rooting
that good.
for him. It's pretty freaking cool. The dude's in a movie. I'm proud of him.
Mhm.
I will watch. You guys should watch as well. And I will let you know next week my thoughts.
For $4.99.
$4.99.
Okay.
You can get it for 24 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
So this is more somber news.
Oh no.
Do you remember Robin from Real
do,
World
yeah.
San Diego? Have you heard anything about what's been going on in her life?
No.
So on Bananas podcast in December, Mark Long was on it.
Mhm.
Remember, Mark had dated Robin when she was on the challenge. She
I
did
do.
a few seasons of the challenge.
I do remember that.
He had said that she was struggling with addiction and she was homeless,
Oh, okay.
living in Tampa area, which is where she's from. She had gotten arrested, I think it was March 31st or sometime in March, for like breaking into a family member's house, destroying some landscaping, and refusing to leave, using drugs, that kind of stuff. She was just arrested again this last week. So the arrest was for giving a false name and non-violently resisting an arrest. So anyway, it just makes me really sad, and I hope she gets the help she needs. I know that there's people in the challenge community that have kind of spoken on this, but it's one of those situations where it's like
there's been some that have struggled with addiction, they've gotten over it, and so hopefully they can reach out to her in some way or another, or
yes,
in the challenge community and the real world community, that people can find something. We've seen stories where people have reached out and helped others that they know that are struggling when they that they've not they've exhausted all of their family's efforts,
right?
So someone has to step in somewhere, and hopefully something like that can happen for her.
I hope so too. She always had just such fire, you know what I mean? Just like fun personality, and
fire's a good word, a good smile. That was one of those infectious ones or whatever else. And nice laugh, and she was a good real world house guest. I know she's been on some challenges, so yeah, that's good. I mean, not good. I mean, hopefully good things are down the road for her.
Yes. Yeah. Moving on to positive. Do you remember Nicole, Nani's cousin from Bloodlines? Real petite, fun makeup, real cute. Of course, you're like, oh, I remember her. She was so cute.
No, I don't.
She got married last week, so great. I saw a bunch of pictures, on the Insta from the wedding. Like a beautiful wedding.
Nani was a bridesmaid.
I don't think she was a bridesmaid.
Casey officiated the wedding.
Casey was there, but I saw some like dancing and stuff.
That's there was. You just don't want to say it. You don't want me to roll my eyes, so I just said it for you.
A point in the night where like they're dancing, and like there were looked like dollar, like the bride and the groom, dollar bills like all over the floor, and I don't know if it was
a stripper.
No,
he met her at a strip club.
No, I don't think so.
Isn't that theme?
I don't know. There was just money everywhere. I missed the boat on that for my wedding. Dang.
Yeah. $7.
Just like scoop it up. I mean, and I don't know. It could have just been like decor. I don't know, to like make it like a, I don't know, rap video or something. I don't know these people's life. But she looks beautiful. Congratulations to Nicole.
Congratulations, Nicole.
I also saw something, on TikTok where you're like, yes, I do. You don't even have to tell me. If it's on TikTok, I do know. Where I've only seen it with women, but I'm sure men are doing it too. They post little things and they point to about different relationships that have broken up and why. Like this happened, he was great, and then this, and then this, and then this.
Oh yeah, there's a certain song to it, and like
right,
yeah, and they'd start clapping, and
right,
like one step forward, two step back, or whatever. Yep.
So this was on my For You page. Morgan, who had been with Bananas.
Okay.
She, went through different relationships, and it was like, then I went on a TV show and found love, and then. So it's been alleged that he was not faithful. She said, he slept with another girl when I was out of town and picked me up the next day and had me make his bed with the new clean sheets. And just straight up putting that stuff out there.
I don't know if that's true.
But then she ended it with like, but this is good because like then I found myself. I've been traveling. I've been, growing as a person, blah, 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 blah. So she seems to be doing well now, but
it's her timeline. It's not the actual timeline. I'm not justifying it, but just because she says it or she feels like it the night before. I mean, she was out of town for just one night.
I don't know.
Her up.
I don't know.
She flew out
I
of town
know
for one
when
night.
he had said on his podcast when Devin was on there, it was one of those like, but what if in this situation he was doing all these hypotheticals, and I'm like, these hypotheticals sound like like you're talking about yourself. To Devin, because Devin does like the relationship stuff. Yeah,
realistically, he probably did do this. He's never going to admit it or whatever else. He's never going to take fault. So yeah, I mean,
he had said something about like she was an influencer and wanted to live her whole life on social media, and he didn't want that. He wanted to be more private. That's what he had.
Come on, Bananas.
I believe both.
Of course you do. Come on, Bananas. Come on, we can smell our own. You're lying. Come on. Just
what's that even?
Because he's like, oh, she's an influencer. She want to be like, you're trying to tell me you're not an influencer.
Oh,
Bananas, like, come on. You went in the show to do. You started on Challenge the Real World. Like, he got done with the Real World, and he like right away when the wrap up party, grabbed a producer. Like, you think I can be on the Road Rules Real World Challenge?
Well, he had said that's why he wanted to be on.
Yeah. And that's all he wanted to do. Like, his dad was just like, "You're seriously gonna do this? This is what you're gonna make a living off of?" He's like, "I'm gonna try." It's like, I mean, he's an influencer before there was social media. Just knock it off.
Whatever.
He has a television show about traveling around the world.
Yeah.
So, she wants to. She could have. Come on, Bananas. You're better than this. It's interesting when people publicly put their stuff out there because, like, I almost didn't want to bring it up, but then I'm like, she put this out there. Yeah, he just got mad. He got called out.
Yeah, he hasn't commented on it, and I don't think he will. But I just thought when that came on my screen, I was like, oh my God, that's Morgan. And then I'm like watching all the different breakups, and I'm like waiting, and I'm like, oh.
Just clean your own room. Make your own bed, like, and do it every day. Because if you don't
cheat,
I mean, all right, that too. That's actually the best point I should have probably led with. But if you can't stay faithful, keep a routine of always keeping a clean room. Because if someone comes back and they're like, "Why is the room clean?" They're like, "Oh, it's just the time cleaning." I'm like, you never clean your room. You never change your sheets. It's like, but stay faithful. Yeah.
I wonder who it was. Like, if it was a challenge person. He was just with Georgia at the beach, like, yesterday. Maybe today. Remember Georgia? Little cutie pie, British.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked her.
Mm-hmm.
Bananas. Single forever. What a guy. Anyway.
Do you have anything else for me, my dear?
No, I mean, Perfect Algorithm's going to come up with something next week, and we'll see what's going to happen. Sarah and Tyson seem to be talking a little bit again, maybe strategizing, so we'll find out how much that goes for.
Yeah, they're both going to send each other, or sell each other down the river.
I just hope I hope next week picks up a little bit. But again, this is episode what now? We're 6, 5?
This was 6.
So
and it's 10 episodes.
And again, they seem to pick up. Right about this time, they make that turn, and then all of a sudden now they'll start pumping them out and everything. So, yes. Before we go, though, I do have one last thing to ask you.
Oh God,
can you spell alliance backwards?
E.
Yeah.
C. N. I. LLA.
Yeah.
Hey! Good job. That was great. No? I said A. LLA.
A before the I.
See, I told you I would be bad at this.
Hey, either way, that was right on the spot, though. So that was a good cold ending.
Right at the spot for one of the words that's part of our.
Well, anyway, tell them where they can follow us. Everything else. It was a good cold ending to have. I put you right on the spot, though. Yeah.
I'll be working on that. That's part of my homework as well.
Mm-hmm.
So. We are Final Alliance Podcast. Follow us on Twitter, Final Alliance 1, on YouTube. We are Final Alliance Podcast. Please subscribe, comment. We'd love to hear what you have to say on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. We are Final Alliance Podcast. And on Instagram, we are Final Alliance.
Next week, we'll say Final Alliance at least 20 more times, like she just did.
Final Alliance.
It's all your fault now by your notes. I would have never done that. Your notes there have there, and I was like, all right, I'm turning this around anyway.
One of the best things that we do in our genre of reality television is we do have the best fans. I mean, our fans will ride to us till the end, and they will not only stick up for you, they will go against people that talk negatively about you when they don't know that, when you know that that's not true, or something that's said that's not true. But so I've said this: there's no other fan base as rabid, supportive, and engaged as the reality TV fan base.